Alright, we really have to talk about this because there's a force on this planet that does not want us to know about this shit. So we gotta go back for my story. We gotta go back a little bit. So I ended up being a freaking IV drug user somehow, but it happened 2 years ago, and I ended up flying down to Mexico for my first experience with Ibogaine, and that totally like took that part of me, like my addiction part of me, took that out of my body. Like I was interacting with this like Mayan, like stone looking being that like came in the room and like drew all this crazy stuff, open-eyed visuals all night, and just like really brought to light what was causing my addiction. And I was like, oh, that's why this stuff isn't allowed in the USA, because it fixes you. You know, it completely removes that addiction from your body. And I can't speak for everybody. This is just me. And I also want to say I'm not promoting any psychedelic use or any use of any type of medicinal plant. I'm just saying my experience. So yeah, and then 40 hours after the Ibogaine, it's a pretty detail. I got details on the trip and stuff. It was pretty intense. But 40 hours later, I smoked 5-MeO DMT from the Sonoran Desert Toad, and that just closed the circle and just showed me what I needed to see and told me what I needed to be told, because that just teleported me to the center of the universe. And it was, to date, it was the best feeling I've ever felt in my life from anything ever, period. So that was that, and it was just not super visual, but it was super, the feeling, it was, they call it the God molecule for a reason, because it's just brings you right to that source, the center of the source, and just you're everything at once, at the same time as nothing. It's really crazy. And that just, the Ibogaine and then the 5-MeO 40 hours after the Ibogaine just closed the circle, and I was just I'm who I am now. Crazy. Changed me into a whole new person. But now here we are 2 years later, and we're dealing with N-dimethyltryptamine, which comes from various plants, and it's actually in us right now. We all produce it. But there's a reason why we all produce it, because it's been put here by something. I don't know what or how, but it's a serious technology that needs to be addressed, because like the shit they talk about in this book is all real. And the beings that inhabit these dimensions are more real than this. It's really insane, and I just need to tell people about it, because everyone needs to know about it. And it's it's being addressed now. They're studying it at certain studies are happening right now that are revolutionizing this ancient wisdom and ancient technology, and it's just insane. And it can be hard for some people to deal with, because we're taught to believe that none of that shit exists, but in all actuality, all that does exist. Anything you can think of in your mind exists. And the beings, every time I use DMT, I am communicating with these super intelligent interdimensional beings. They're very alien, just like Terrence McKenna talks about. It's very inhabited, that space, and it's pretty serious shit. But they go in there and they help you. That's the underlying message. And I'm seeing the same stuff as everybody else around the world. So, you know, we need to start talking about this more, because there's a group that knows more than they're saying. They know about this shit, and it's just like, maybe these beings they can help us. I mean, they have technology that's so far beyond the shit we have here, and I think if we like stop acting like this is the 60s, where we need to, I mean, we are waking up, but we need to really start for real looking at this, because and they are, but more people need to know about it. A lot more people now don't know about DMT than, like, say, even like 15 years ago. Yeah, somebody what that is, I don't know what that is, but now more and more people are starting to know about it, which is good, great. But I just wanted to, let me know in the comments. I'll make another video. I can make a video for my Ibogaine trip with all the details for that. And I can make a video for my 5-MeO specifically. And I can keep making DMT content, because I have a bunch of stories. It's obviously impossible to remember everything from the trips, but each one means something so deep in their own special way. And it just they burn shit into your mind you just get this deep feeling of, wow, this is so important and so familiar. I need to remember this. And, you know, they just come up to you and show you this, like, weird ancient symbols into your face, like the craziest technology that you can't think this shit up. It's very alien. But yeah, guys, so I'll let me know, and I'll upload some more stories for you if this gets around. But more people need to hear about this shit, because I'm talking to like the same beings that these ayahuasca shaman are going into these realms and dealing with. Like, I'm communicating with those on a regular basis. Every time I've used it, I've communicated with them. So yeah, they're very real. They do exist. And if you don't believe it, take the 3 tokes out of the correct pipe at the correct temperature, and you'll see what we're talking about, because it's real. So, all right, peace.